aren't all deaths a matter of regret because all people can change? Nana, what do you think?
Well, I mean, look, if it was an animal that had attacked a human or attacked someone, we put the animal down. I actually think his crimes were totally unacceptable. I think we're wasting taxpayers' money paying for him. And actually, if the death penalty was still in this country, I would want somebody like that to be put to death, or at the very least castrated. I think, I personally, I don't feel unhappy that he's dead. I think what goes around comes around, and frankly, good.
So you'd want the death penalty, would you?
I would want the death penalty, and okay, it might be a bit horrible, you know, it might feel a bit uncomfortable because people are celebrating that somebody has been murdered, but at the end of the day, what goes around comes around, and I'm glad he's not on the planet anymore.
Nina, he should have been executed already.
Absolutely not. I can understand why people would feel so strongly about it, because his crimes were horrific, and there have been people who've celebrated, for instance, Margaret Thatcher's death. There was a lot of rejoicing when she died, and she wasn't, obviously not murdered.
I don't think you can compare the two.
No, let me make my point. So the point being that nobody has the right to take another person's life. Nobody at all. That's why we banned capital punishment, because otherwise we go back to the Middle Ages and we become as bad as these people.
Yeah. Nicola, what do you think?
You absolutely cannot do that.
Maybe this is about capital punishment to some extent, that it shouldn't be prisoners who have to kill this guy. The state should do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You think so?
I do believe that paedophiles should be killed. I think it's the worst crime. If this happened to your child, you would be celebrating. I mean, I'm not saying I had a party yesterday, but when I read it, I thought, good. You know, I wouldn't take my time to go on social media and put the hashtags and blah, blah, blah. But yes, absolutely, he should be dead. I mean, his crimes were so horrific. You know, why does he deserve that? He has given these children 200 children that we know about has got a life sentence now. Why should he be alive?
Nina?
Well, the point is, nobody's expecting him to be rehabilitated. He would have stayed in prison all his life.
Why should we pay for it?
Because he had to be kept away from society, because he had to be punished. And by not giving him the life that he wants, that is punishment. That is punishment. I mean, the things you cannot, you know, otherwise you go back to an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, and we go back to the days when we have public hangings and floggings, where you have you know, the sort of the old days of the gladiators. We were a more civilised society than that.
Nana.
No, I don't see why we should keep him alive. It's a shame there's no death penalty.
And who's going to kill him?
Well, listen, if
would you kill him?
I would.
Not a problem.
You would.
Would you really?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you two would.
Bring me the button. I'll press the button.
Yeah, I would
I'd
have
be more than happy.
absolutely no problem.
No problem.
And what you said about him,
problem.
he was being kept away from society. Okay, so yes, he was, because he got 22 life sentences. But we know that the punishment isn't, the punishment of any crime like this. You know, paedophiles do get let out, and then they do reoffend.
Well, I'm saying we're not talking about this
I
particular
understand
case.
this one.
Yes.
Well, you're asking I would kill him, no problem.
Yeah. What's the point?
Absolutely.
And how would you kill him?
Electric chair, whatever.
But actually physically
Lethal
kill somebody.
injection.
Could you actually give him a lethal injection?
Yes.
Would
Yes.
you do that?
Yes.
My God.
Yeah.
I
Sorry.
can't believe I'm sitting next to two women who would actually kill somebody.
I wonder what they would do.
Yeah.
Would you kill?
Okay, who would, let's say we're on hanging here, who would be the hangman for this individual? Audience, hold your hand up if you would.
Be honest.
If that was your child,
Okay.
if that's your child, I would find it very hard to find a parent that wouldn't think that this man deserves to die. 200 children have a life sentence because of a sick individual.
You see the killer as a hero?
The killer is a
irrelevant.
criminal as well. That is irrelevant. I'm not, no, I don't think. I just literally read it and thought, I'm so glad he's dead.
Yeah.
I'm quite shocked that you would actually admit that you would kill somebody.
Well, if they did, but
for no reason that you.
If they have done,
I try not to kill a wasp.
I have to be honest. If they have done the heinous crimes that he has done, I'm sorry, but if somebody said, "Would you mind pressing this button that will execute this man?"
And you would watch that person die.
Who's
You
killed
would watch
these
that
children,
person
I would
die.
absolutely do it. I'd make sure that. he's dead.
I'm absolutely gobsmacked.
It's hard, like, yeah, because
Why?
you say,
Why?
Nina, you
Why?
say you wouldn't
Why are you
kill a
gobsmacked?
wasp.
Yeah.
But wasps don't abuse children. The wasp has done no
I understand
harm.
that, but there are people that should be kept away from normal society. They should be kept away if they cannot behave in the way we want them to behave.
But we would kill an animal.
But as an
if it was an
individual,
animal. If you had a dog and it had killed somebody or attacked somebody, that dog gets put down, right?
I would not be able to live with myself if I had killed another human being, had watched them die.
Would you not?
If it was him, I would.
Would you not feel there was justice to the 200 victims?
What about the
justified? It's
Why
not
is it
justified.
not justified?
Okay.
You can't, because we have no right. What gives you the arrogance to think you can take somebody's life?
Because he harmed those children.
No, you as a human being.
It's not arrogance.
It's not arrogance. It's asked a question. Well, I don't think I've got a right to do it. But if you're asking, do I believe that paedophiles, if we categorically know they've done it, do they deserve to live? No. If it was a law and you asked me, right, you want to make it a law, so therefore you're saying you would press the button. 100% I would press the button.
In
So
fact,
obviously you've got, when you say paedophiles, you've got a whole range of people. You've got somebody who's been caught looking at images at the bottom, and then at the top
but they're only going to escalate. So
you'd probably take them all out.
Yes.
Would you?
100%.
I would have chemical castration and potentially have those ones castrated, but because to stop them from going to
Castration doesn't always stop it.
Well, then they should be executed.
Oh, so we get to degrees of it, and you are the judge and jury. Now that is arrogant. No, that is arrogance.
I'm saying
total arrogance.
It's not arrogance.
It is.
Why?
How-
Listen, if that's
how-
my worst
if-
crime, hang on.
are you-
If that
are
is
you a
my
Christian?
worst crime, being arrogant because I've been happy enough to press the button on to kill this person.
Happy?
Hang on, because I'm okay with the idea of executing this person who's damaged these children in this way, then I'll take it on board.
All right.
I'll accept that.
Nina, there is, if your idea is you just keep them in prison for a very long time.
Yep.
The argument against that is it's costly.
Yep.
Secondly, it does risk that either he kills someone or he gets killed in an ugly way, which is what's
need a better
happened.
prison.
You need a better prison. Okay. Thirdly, if he escapes and then harms another child.
You need a better prison.
Okay. So you just keep him in solitary or.
Like Jeffrey Epstein, he was murdered in prison, wasn't he? I mean,
Well, no, I think officially suicide, but yeah.
officially suicide.
Okay.
But we all think, it must have been done. So.
All right. Interesting. Storm, this is fascinating.
Well, we're getting lots of calls as well on this, so we're going to speak to Marie from London first, who thinks we don't punish paedophiles hard enough.
So were you celebrating, Marie, when this man was killed?
100%. And can I just point out that lady at the end is talk rubbish throughout the show. Anyway, I just get to my point. I was abused as a child. The man got 3.5 years, was released again, then went out and abused someone again and got 8 years, released again. Then he went on to murder someone. So I think she's talking absolute rubbish. Does she even have children?
Marie,
does she have children?
What's that got to do with it? My name is Nina. Hello, Marie. How are you?
Yeah, Nina, do you have children?
No, I don't.
No, your comments say it all. Trust me, your comments say it all. If you go out there, you rape children, you get 3.5 years. That's what you get in this country.
Entirely wrong. I'm not saying that
these people deserve to die. They're ruining children's lives. They've ruined my life. How dare you come on the show and say your opinions are beyond me?
This is the very reason.
Hang on, Marie.
Marie. This is the very reason we need laws. We need civilised debate. And we need a calm attitude. This is a kind of mob. Marie, this is a kind of mob mentality, the witch hunt.
Marie,
do you remember when?
No, hang on. Just because Marie's herself a survivor of this, I just want to make sure. We hear what you're saying, Marie. The point that Nina just makes is that your pain is so evident that you can't be the one who decides what happens to the criminal. That's the point.
She should be the one that... She should be. Marie is exactly the person.
OK, go on.
Marie, you are exactly the person. I don't agree with you being... I'm not saying you are being rude to Nina, but I don't agree with... But you're exactly the person that should decide what happens to these people. So the victims decide? Because you're a victim. And I can hear how upset you are, and I'm so sorry. And
And that, to be honest, that is one of the classic patterns. And that's the women... The ladies, as you describe them, who have said you act early with paedophiles. When they offend, you either castrate or kill them. Actually, the pattern of offending in Marie's case is unfortunately one we know too well, which is that they offend against one person, then they're punished not hard enough, then they offend again, and then pretty soon they've collected 5 or 6 victims.